What if the one thing holding you back has nothing to do with motivation? What if it has nothing to do with discipline, or talent, or the right opportunity finally arriving? What if the only thing standing between you and the clarity you have been searching for is this? You are giving too much of yourself away. Every single day. You speak when silence would serve you better. You react when you should be retreating inward. You scatter your attention across 100 things that do not matter, while the one thing that could change everything sits quietly in the corner, waiting for you to finally notice it. The ancient Stoics knew this secret. They practiced it relentlessly. It was not flashy. It was not complicated. But it quietly separated the people who drifted through life from the people who led it with unshakable clarity. Today you are going to discover the habit that changes everything. It is not what you think. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Once you practice it, everything shifts faster than you ever imagined.
Welcome to True Stoic Journal, the path to inner control.
Let me be honest with you about where you are right now. You wake up. And before your feet even touch the floor, you are already reaching for your phone. Messages. Notifications. News. Someone's opinion about something that has nothing to do with you. Another crisis you cannot control. Another voice demanding your attention. You scroll. You react. You absorb. And without even realizing it, you have already given away the first hour of your day to forces completely outside yourself. At work, you are constantly interrupted. A meeting that could have been an email. A colleague venting about something you cannot fix. A notification pulling you out of focus every few minutes, fragmenting your thoughts before they can form into anything useful. You try to get things done. But you are always playing catch-up. Busy but not productive. Moving but not forward. And then there is the talking. You talk about your plans before you have taken the first step. You share your struggles with people who have no solutions. You defend yourself against critics who will never be satisfied. You explain, justify, announce, broadcast your every move, seeking validation, seeking approval, seeking something outside yourself to confirm that you are on the right path. But here is the brutal truth. Every word you speak prematurely leaks energy. Every explanation you offer to someone who does not need to hear it drains your momentum. Every time you check what others think before you check what you think, you hand over your power. You are living in a constant state of reaction. You are not directing your life. You are responding to it. And somewhere deep down, you already know this. The Stoics had a name for this condition. They called it living outside yourself. It is the state of allowing external events, other people's opinions, the endless noise of the world, to dictate your internal state. It is the opposite of sovereignty. It is the opposite of freedom. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in Rome, wrote in his private journal words that still cut through everything today. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. But he was not writing that because he had it figured out. He was reminding himself. Because even emperors fall into the trap. Even the most disciplined minds drift into reaction, into seeking external validation, into forgetting where true power actually lives. Most people never escape this. They spend their entire lives in reactive mode. They let the world set the agenda. They speak too much and think too little. They chase goals they do not even want because someone else told them those goals mattered. And here is what hurts the most. They are capable of so much more. They have the intelligence. They have the potential. They have the time. But they never focus it. They never harness it. They never turn the spotlight inward and ask the only question that matters. What do I want? What do I control? What can I do right now? Instead, they talk. They announce. They react. They scatter. And the years slip by. You do not want that. And the good news is this. You do not need permission. You do not need the perfect plan. You do not need to wait for the right moment. The habit that changes everything is not loud. It is not dramatic. It does not require you to announce it to the world or convince anyone else to join you. It is the opposite. It is quiet. It is internal. It is invisible to everyone but you. And it starts the moment you make a single decision. To focus on yourself. And stay silent. Focusing on yourself means redirecting your attention to the only things you can actually control. Your thoughts. Your actions. Your responses. Your effort. Not the outcome. Not what others think. Not the economy, the algorithm, the competition, or the critics. Just you. Staying silent means resisting the urge to speak prematurely. To announce your intentions before the work is done. To seek validation before the results exist. To react impulsively when patience would serve you far better. This is not about becoming a recluse. This is not about refusing to communicate. This is about being strategic with your words and ruthless with your attention. The Stoics practiced this relentlessly. Epictetus, who was born a slave, who had every possible reason to broadcast his suffering, taught his students something that echoes across centuries. It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. He did not just preach this. He lived it. He did not complain about his chains. He focused on what he could control, his mind, and stayed silent about everything else. Seneca wrote that the greatest remedy for anger is delay. When something triggers you, when someone insults you, when chaos erupts around you, pause. Stay silent. Let the moment pass through you instead of reacting from inside it. That pause. That silence. That is where your power lives. Marcus Aurelius, ruling an empire at war, constantly reminded himself of one thing. Confine yourself to the present. Stop replaying the past. Stop worrying about the future. Stop imagining what others are thinking about you. Focus on this present moment, and the one thing you can actually do right now. This is the practice. And it is hard. Because everything in the modern world pulls you in the exact opposite direction. Social media rewards you for speaking constantly. For announcing every thought. For performing your entire life in public. But here is what no one tells you. Every time you react immediately, you weaken your ability to respond thoughtfully. Every time you speak prematurely, you dilute your own intentions. Every time you seek external validation before internal clarity, you train yourself to depend on others for your sense of worth. Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, said this. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more than we speak. He was not being poetic. He was giving you a ratio. Listen twice as much as you speak. Observe twice as much as you react. Absorb twice as much as you broadcast. Because silence creates space. Space for clarity. Space for insight. Space for strategy. When you are constantly talking, you are not thinking. When you are constantly reacting, you are not observing. When you are constantly seeking validation, you are not building. But when you focus on yourself and stay silent, something remarkable begins to happen. You start noticing patterns you could not see before. You hear the signal beneath all the noise. You recognize what actually matters versus what merely demands your attention. You stop wasting time on things that move nothing forward. You stop engaging with people who drain your energy. You stop defending positions that need no defense. You simplify. You focus. You execute. And here is the paradox the Stoics understood long before any of us were born. The less you speak, the more weight your words carry. The less you react, the more intentional your actions become. The less you seek validation, the more confident you actually feel. The world respects silence. It respects restraint. It respects people who do not need to explain themselves, who do not need to perform, who do not need constant affirmation just to keep moving forward. But more importantly,